Hello again, Seriosity here, and I'm going to be casting for StarCraft TV yet again. And we're going to cast No Against Action PvZ on Sylphid. Good split by action, and here we see Snow on the top side of Sylphid. On the bottom left we have action in the color brown. Sylphid, I think Sylphid has either replaced or supplanted Fighting Spirit as the most common played maps. Not among foreigners, I would say, or even low-level players of any sort, but Koreans, simply because it's something newer, it's fresher, it's better balanced than Fighting Spirit. Fighting Spirit is quite an anti-Zerg map. I would say on this map, Sylphid, Zerg is in a comfortable position against either race, but especially against Protoss. You have Snow going for that pylon scout. You can see how he positioned his pylon all the way on the left side. This allows him more room for cannons like this, and he can get a gateway and or a forge and a gateway here to complete some sort of a wall. Here we have action with the Overlord, and now we're gonna see a pull. You can see this pull positioning is a little bit curious, but this is key. Watch how fast this drone is going to bounce off this hatchery once this gets there with the minerals. You can compare some of the other drones, they linger around for a little bit at the hatchery. Not all immediately bounce. Without this pull, the drone would take a little bit longer. So this is what is referred to as mineral boosting. This is one of the ways to do it. The other way is the return cargo trick. Some mineral boosting techniques have to be done manually every time. Those are a little bit harder to achieve. And because it's an overpull, right before 2 minutes, you can see Zerg is going to send that drone to the natural. Going to get ready to make the hatcheries. Snow chasing, trying to block, and just barely gets there in time. Very annoying for action. You see, it's no longer making probes. Gonna stop at 13. Gonna get that Nexus and Cannon both up. Yet again, Snow being super annoying with that probe. See, action's just making 2 lings, and then the rest, or I should say 1 set of lings, and then the rest drones. Here he's chasing that probe and 1 ling. Looks like it wanted to go out to scout, but it's just gonna get to Snow's base here. No drone scout from action. But based on the probe scout timing, he knows that this was a forge scout, forged fast expand. Very fast scouts aren't common with gateways, and here we have the mineral only being taken as his third. Here, action had a couple options for third base. He could have taken the 7 o'clock high ground base, another natural, or this mineral only. The green base here, that's very close by. Very rarely will you see that taken as a third, especially by Zerg, because it mines out so quickly. And here we have Snow falling up his build, just playing standard, getting gateway, pylon, gas, all in order. Probe is still alive. Only lost shield, so very good by Snow. Keeping that alive as long as possible is very key in this matchup. You don't want Zerg to hide what they're doing from your probe. Here he sees them there, but he should stay around. Slayer can be cancelled. You can see he's did a fake out there, was gonna leave, but no, I'm actually gonna come back. Still getting that core, and if you saw that earlier game between YSC and Soma, you saw how late YSC's cybernetics core was compared to the layer of Soma. Here we don't have that scenario. We have the core a little bit faster than the layer, which is normal. Now we see action with 1 drone per mineral patch. This is how you want to play ZvP, or actually any Zerg matchup really. You want to saturate your bases in order. And here we have a Hydrogen being hidden at third, made roughly around half layer HP, and Snow not playing greedy, not cutting any corners, head straight towards that third. He was going to see it either way with the Zealot, but you can see how important this scout is. He's going to see this Hydrogen. And now let's see what action does. He could just make a Spire and say, forget it, I'm not going to utilize this Hydrogen, but no. He is getting Hydro Speed immediately right off the bat. here's that Zealot, very annoyingly placed behind the minerals, but with just one Hydra, this Zealot will be nullified. Hydras will be able to range it and then force it to engage. Second Zealot heading towards Action's natural. And it's actually going to be forced into retreat. No link speed. Did get this Hydra then instead. And this Hydra actually very dangerously low on health. Couple cannons being added, force no, and immediately getting a second gateway. Now he's not sure what Action is doing, but he did see a lair and a Hydra then. First Corsair is out, and this is very important to keep on scouting. Getting Overlord kills is a bonus. Basically, you just want to keep scouting, get as much scouting information as possible. And we have a Spire from Action and a couple extra drones, still producing Hydras. The way this forge is positioned vertically from the cannons, it's actually safer than a horizontal forge. Basically, if there were a pylon forge here and the cannon behind, because the forge is wider horizontally than it is vertically, cannons positions like this makes it harder for this forge to be sniped. Hydra range almost done. You can see Action not pressured at all, not in a hurry to kill these buildings without range. You can't really do it, so just holding back. And we see Snow actually adding a ton of gateways, going up to 6 gateways without any further tech, just speed lots. 2 Corsairs out scouting. They do see the Spire timing. They do see that Snow or Action is still only on the 3 hatcheries. Spire is done. No Overlord speed was researched. So basically, this is 3 hatch Hydra and then followed up with a fast Spire. But we can both see Action doesn't have any gas for Mutalisks. He's pressuring the front now. Finally, we have a lane being sacrificed to see the number of cannons that are up, and see that Zealot speed is already done. This is only about 9-12 Hydras, couple links, and he's gonna move in, and this could be a vulnerable moment for Snow. Only 3 cannons up. The 3 in the back aren't quite done yet. He does snipe the cannon that was defending this forge the most, and now he can really poke away at this. And because he went for such a fast Zealot speed even before the +1 was started, he had started that Citadel. You can see +1 is quite delayed, and he's not going to be able to get that upgrade. And see what Action is doing behind this. He's getting an Evolution Chamber, 4th hatchery. Spire is already out, and looks like the Spire is somewhat of a fake out, not really being utilized. It also didn't really throw Snow off, because Snow never kept making more Corsairs, doesn't even have a forge in his main. He's finally moving on with a ton of speed lots. He did get up 6 gateways up very quickly before that Archives, so he's able to put on some pressure. And because Snow is on such Action is such on low production, only had 3 hatcheries this whole time, he did tech up quickly. Got Hydra Dance, Spire, all before 4th hatch. This kind of commitment into ground units is very effective. But here are the mutas finally being mixed in, and it's not only going to be 5 mutas, he's still making more. And here are the Zealots. But I think, yeah, Action has enough to defend. More gateways going up. Only 1 Corsair, 2 Corsairs in the main, 1 already badly damaged. High Templars being made out of these gateways. The Zealots are engaging the Hydras, but all the Zealots go down, and Snow is in big trouble here. How is he gonna defend from these mutas? Oh, massive storm there on the mutas. Doesn't kill any, but they're all in the purple now. These Corsairs pop out, but you can see the mutas can chase them. Good micro there, gets another mutalisk. And these gateways are exposed. Any High Templars that pop are going to be at risk of getting picked off instantly. You have another High Templar here, ready with the storm. 1 Corsair to defend it. Not enough. Some Scourge coming in to support, and there's another storm. And another storm like that will kill most of these mutas, so Action has to be careful. The Corsairs can now engage, even though it's only 2 Corsairs. These mutas are very badly damaged. He has to be careful with the Scourge. Scourge are on top of the mutas, can't easily be seen. Behind this, Action is still only on 4 hatcheries, but you see he has a ton of hydras. Eventually, the longer this goes on, being on only 4 hatcheries against 6 gateways is gonna start making a difference. But at least in this moment, he has a large army advantage. He did win the early fights, so he's basically has the freedom to do whatever he wants. And there's a 5th hatch going down. Looks like he's about to get a 6th hatch even. Mutas are giving him map control. And he's finally getting Overlord speed. There's a 6th hatch from Action. And a drone heading out to take a 4th base even. So after winning all those engagements, and with the mutas providing him map control, you can see Action has gotten 3 hatcheries up, kept making drones and hydras, getting +1. We have 6 High Templars sitting back for Snow. His +1 is about to be finished. And here are the mutas effectively warding off all Zealots. We have 5 Corsairs, no +1 on them, but 5 is enough to engage these mutas. And we see +1 almost done. A couple lurkers being mixed in, and we do have a Robo and Dragoon range on the way. This is a lot of time for Zerg to just be, allowed to drone up freely. Mutas have provided a ton of value in this game. Drones heading towards the 4th base, already prepared to saturate that. Lurkers on the field. Snow still on his 6 gateways. Does have a lot of High Templars in the back gathering energy. And because he has a considerable air fleet, it's not going to be as easy to pick those off. And this is important for Action. He's finally getting that 3rd gas. And let's look at his lurker count. He only has the 4 lurkers because he did invest in these mutas, Scourge, and a lot of hydras. 7th and 8th gateway going up for Snow. How many cannons in the main? Only 1 cannon. Don't protect the gas probes critically. You see 2 probes go down. And let's see this gas mining for Action. He's going to need to mix in those extra lurkers. +2 is on the way for both Action and Snow, and he's actually getting drop. And because of how he's positioned his bases, it does make drop a really big threat. Snow is going to have to be very careful. The farther out his army is in the middle of the map, the easier it is for him to get dropped. You see Action positioning his lurker field between his 3rd, basically between his natural and his 4th base, and this is a very effective method of defense on Sylphid. Mutas are still alive, and they could at any moment loop around and snipe these High Templars. We also see that Action can utilize drops very effectively. Look at the drop distance between these 2 bases. Overlord's loaded up, and there's 12 hydras and 2 lurkers here. He doesn't want to reveal to these Corsairs. Corsairs patrolling around the map. Mutas are actually a little bit farther back, and there's 9 mutas. Quick math, 9 times 9 is 81. High Templars have 80 health. And here comes the drop. Sniped off that Observer critically. We have High Templars ready for it, so Snow was prepared after all. But this is a very, very effective drop. Nice storm there, getting a bunch of hydras, and the Overlords are staying back. Has to be careful with these Corsairs above the hydras. Nice storm again by Snow, but loses that fort, and now Snow is stuck. It's going to be a +1 for a very long time. Needs to get an Observer back here critically, but it looks like he's not going to lose any other critical buildings. In terms of importance, this Archives and Gas are critical for Protoss. Looks like an Overlord was killed, and neither of these buildings is going to go down. But this was a very effective drop by Action. You see he's positioning his army on the map, moving out, moving forward. 3rd has no defense. He's making the forts there. Now he's going to have to split his army to defend from both drop and frontal attacks. Looks like all the mutas have gone down, but they effectively traded their lives for High Templar snipes, and one High Templar that was weak had 2 storms on it, but it gets picked off by Hydras. How many storms do we have left? Only 2. First storm is pretty good, gets about 4 Hydras, clips several many. There's still 1 more storm here, but you can see how small Snow's army is. It's split off with a lot of it in the main, and in that moment, Action was able to take a very favorable engagement. Now his lurkers are burrowing at the front. If you can cut off Snow's units from defending this 3rd base, you can see there's no defense here, not even a single cannon, and just 5 Hydras will be able to kill off all these probes before Snow can get here to defend. Snow desperately trying to get back to this position, and because he has to defend his 3rd, now he's vulnerable to drop. Again, Action just can be everywhere at once. His army is very mobile. It's even more mobile now with these drops, and it's very hard for Snow to defend both fronts. You can see Snow predicting that Action is going to follow up with a drop next. So good play by him. You see the Corsair here in position to scout. Here comes the drop. It's going to be 4 Hydras, 12 Hydras. Action sees the army here, doesn't want to commit to a drop. It's 4 bases against 3. Not the worst position economically for Protoss. It wasn't a very late 3rd. He still has minerals in his main and natural. Normally when Protoss takes a very late 3rd, you can see they mine out their main and natural and are all of a sudden just mining on 1 base. But it's still 3 bases against 4. We can see +1 for Snow still on his gateway armor, +2, not even halfway done. And now here we have a much bigger drop, and we have an observer here. It's gonna spot it, but just 1 observer and 1 cannon for detection. There's a ton of lurkers in this drop, I think. See, only 2, but 2 is enough. When they can't be detected, 2 is more than enough. I just dropped in the mineral line, forcing a probe pull. That observer that was scouting gets picked off immediately, and now this is very awkward for Snow, losing that nexus. Archive's gonna go down next. High Templar is coming here, and these units are very clumped, but I think the damage has been done. Very nice storms by Snow, morphing into Archons, the rest of his High Templars. Even though Snow was able to defend, this was a very efficient attack for Action. And you see the majority of his units now heading towards Snow's 3rd. We do have 2 High Templars here, each with 2 storms and a handful of Dragoons. But look at the amount of Hydras out on the map. Lurkers burrowing. Hydras, nice dodge there. It looks like the 2nd storm was a lot better. And Action gets warded off, at least initially. We still have 1 High Templar. It looks like it doesn't have storms, so with no more storms left, you can see how confident Action will move his Hydras forward. They do have +2. Protoss doesn't have any armor upgrades, so Hydras, when Protoss doesn't have any gateway armies, especially with the upgrade advantage, are going to be extremely powerful. And Snow types that GG. So very curious build from Action, not something you see commonly. 3 hats, lair, Hydra Den, followed up with mutas. But once he established that map control and was able to freely drone up, he went up, shot up in hatcheries, went from 4 to 7 very quickly, and getting this base and drop puts Snow in a bind. Very hard to defend both your 3rd on this very open map and the main at the same time. And GG. Thanks for watching. This was Seriosity, and I hope to cast more of these sometime.